I asked 8 women what they wish someone would have told them before they got married. And this is what they had to say. Hi, my name is Magali Somdamba. Welcome to the channel Blossoming Daisy. It's for the young woman who wants to pursue the kingdom of God. Well, today we are going on a different route. For the entire month of December, we are speaking on the topic of marriage. The first 2 sessions, which is this one and the next one, will be specifically based on women, and the last two sessions for December, they will be based on men, which my brother, Mfundisi Pastor, will handle. Okay, so today, the reason why I'm covering this topic or this question, that what are the things you wish someone would have told you before you got married, is that I've had 1,000 conversations with single unmarried women and with married women about marriage. And we who aren't married have this kind of blossoming daisies, roses, and ideas about marriage. And then those who are married, some of them are just so disappointed that what they expected wasn't what they got. So here I just want you and I to have a healthy expectation, a true understanding, or broaden our minds a bit of what marriage actually is, because we just focus on the flowers, the beauty, the gown, and then it comes to the marriage. We never focus on the fact that it needs a healthy mind, a mature state. It needs a lot of things. So this is not to scare you. If you're single, this is not to scare you or put you off marriage, but it's just to ensure that we have a healthy understanding of, or a beautiful expectation that is healthy when it comes to marriage. Okay. Another disclaimer is that I'm going to share the views of these women. Okay. Most of them are actually PKs and some of them are pastors' wives. But what they are sharing on are their personal experiences. I'm not going to name names, but I'm just going to speak what they told me exactly. Okay, so these women are speaking on their experiences. It's not what is written in stone, as in these are the rules you have to follow. Okay, some of them are saying things that contradict the other person's statement. Okay, so I just want to broaden your mind on other women's experiences, because some of us are actually quite afraid of asking these questions. And another reason I did this was that I don't believe in marriage counseling, as in being given that thing when you get married. After watching a number of marriage counselors speak on their sessions, the one thing that came through was that when a couple is excited and getting married, they hardly listen. They hardly focus on the hard questions. They just excited. They thinking about the roses. They thinking about the cake. They are just on that cloud. So even though there are hard questions, they kind of skip their minds, or they kind of just slip through them because they are in this love bubble. So that that means for me the only cure is that I understand what marriage entails before I even go boy crazy or guy crazy, or even at that state of marriage. Okay, so it's not that someone who's getting married should get information about marriage, but I need information about marriage before I get there, so that I am able to make the correct decisions. If I do not know the responsibilities uh, that I need to come through with as a woman in marriage, how can I say no? How can I say yes and make and it be a good and true decision for me? If I don't know the responsibilities of a man, how can I actually pick the correct partner for myself? I don't know what are the qualities that this guy needs to have. Okay, so the session is literally just to open our minds We're going to speak the entire month. It's going to be an interesting one. We're going to speak on this. But today, what I have done is I've gone and asked these women. I'm going to read their responses. This is all them. Okay, guys, I'm not married. This is all them. Okay, this is all them. So I'm just going to read. I'm not going to have inputs. What I'm going to focus on is next week the single woman and her and marriage, how we get our minds ready and mentally to get there. Okay, so I think I'm done with the disclaimers. Yeah. Woman number one said this. Okay, she had the most stuff to say. Okay. Woman number one said, it's two different people with different backgrounds, beliefs, and upbringings trying to live together. It's a lot of compromising and a lot of serving. To be really happy, you must really serve the other person. Sorry. The pursuing and the pleading stops once you get married. Being a baby stops. I thought I was going to be begged and handled like an egg as I was whilst I was being pursued. Once I got married, life was not about me. I had to be a wife and not a girlfriend who was constantly coddled. Another thing, you really at times are like his mother. Literally. I never thought I would have an adult baby that I must make sure I arrange everything for. Even when I'm going to be away, I need to make provisions. Even though he handled these things as a bachelor, as soon as we got married, yes, I had to take care of it. Marriage is not a holiday and it's not an achievement. You don't rest when you get there. Preach. Okay. You must be willing to do the right thing all the time. Never pay back. Okay. You must be his peace. This means you must be forgiving because once he has apologized, which doesn't happen often, when he does, he expects you to move on. Learn to forgive, otherwise marriage has the potential to send you to hell. Okay. Kill all expectations. Expectations hurt. Another one I wish someone told me is that men aren't mind readers. So simply communicate. They aren't? There should be some telepathic something, Moz. He can't accurately guess what you desire for your birthday. So communicate rather than just expecting. If you feel like chocolate, ask him to bring some on his way home. Sulking and being moody that he popped up and he had nothing in his hands doesn't work. Okay. If you are not ready to submit, don't get married. Marriage is work, but fun. So marriage is fun work. That's what she said. It's also an assignment from God, a ministry from God. The enemy hates all things that are purposed by God. Therefore, you can't afford not to pray. Teach yourself respect. Even in an argument, always keep your tone in check. You expect him to communicate respectfully, therefore you do the same. Woman number two, your husband is never going to complete your life. Don't expect him to fill the role that only God can fill. Marriage isn't 50-50, it's 100-100. I went into marriage thinking I'll do my part and he will do his. The truth is, our job is to give 100. Even if our spouse gives nothing, in great marriages, both parties give 100 to each other. Your life isn't going to turn out exactly like you expected it. So work on being flexible, boo. My husband isn't perfect. He's going to make some mistakes. When he does, I will have a choice. I can either choose to focus on his shortcomings or choose to look for the best in him. Your spouse is going to mess up, and so are you. Be quick to forgive. His family will always come first to him, and yours will always come second. Ouch. Mother in laws will not love you the same way as your own mother loves and cares for you. So don't try too hard to get her attention to the point where you lose yourself just because you want her to notice you or love you the way you are expecting her to. Getting serious. Are we still okay? A show of hands. You know how at church, raise your hands if you're still awake. Yeah, I'm checking if we stop breathing. We're okay. Okay. His family problems become your problems, but your family problems are yours alone. The support you give to his family might not be reciprocated. All right. Woman number 3. Submission means when you have a different opinion from your husband, you have to compromise because he has the final say. Submission sometimes feels like abuse. Do not abuse other children, guys. Okay? Submission means when you okay, point number 2. When you get married, you throw away your freedom to be you. It's us and we. Even when you have a different opinion, you have to wait until half of your body comes to agreement. Yay, okay, it's fine. If it's you, just us. You are intertwined. You are intertwined with your partner. You may be in different places, but you represent him or her wherever you go. You can't be you again. You are his shadow and he is your shadow. Being parented, that's another point. If you struggle to take orders from your parents, don't get married. Because your head, which is your husband, will parent you sometimes. He will say, no, don't go there, don't do this, I don't like what you're doing. You have to report when you go, get permission when needed. You are expected to behave in a certain way because you are now a wife. Hey, someday your partner will be your baby or behave. Okay, guys, this is my favorite point out of all of this. Someday your partner will be your baby or behave like a baby that you have to look after. Clean up after him, take care of him, but submit to that big baby as well. I find it, yeah, it's quite ironic. I'm submitting to a big baby. Okay, wife number 4 says, while we were still dating and during the lobola process, I would assume this guy is well off. Whatever I needed was that, whatever I needed that was an extra thing, I would simply let him know. And of course, he can't say no. I'm the love of his life. I chose the most expensive ring. Everything was expensive. The first car we got was expensive. I was just all about the best. Later on, when we wanted to acquire other assets, I then realized that actually we can't afford this. So, had I understood earlier that we are building a future here and we have to be cautious on how we spend, lack of awareness set us back a bit. I wish elders also focused on that during counseling, that you have the rest of your life together. So focus more on building, saving, investing than in a lavish lifestyle. Okay. Pray for him and everything about him. Mental health, finances, ministry work. Okay, she's a pastor's wife. His ministry work. I was a casual prayer before. I assumed he was okay. I would set time to pray for other things, but not him. I later understood that the greater God is calling him to should come through my prayers as well. Woman number 5 says, no one told me I was going to handle the household chores alone. Okay, this is also a cultural thing, because a lot, There are guys who actually help out in the home, but if you have a Zulu man from KwaZulu Natal, this is what you get. Okay, I honestly wasn't aware of the financial responsibility that came with marriage. Before marriage, my money was mine. After marriage, it was children, school fees, all things marriage. Bummer. In all things, I have to consider my family first. Me is literally gone. I plan schedules, ask for permission. When I was single, I would only let my mother know. But now I ask, I don't let him know. Shame. In laws are a package deal with the husband. I believed we would live in a bubble, just us. Then reality hits. Oh, guys, in laws, we can speak the whole day about this. Okay, no matter what happens to him, I am to be there all the way. He changes physically, health wise, and that impacts me too. I have to adjust myself. Woman number six. I lost myself. I understood submission to be never question him, just simply agree. And I also took abuse from in laws and I never let him know in the name of submission. I was taught to love and please the in laws, and I didn't even note that I was neglecting my husband in the process. Next point, you need someone you trust to pray with you, a prayer partner. Marriage needs you to be grounded spiritually, otherwise, you can potentially go crazy. I'm not laughing at other people's problems, guys. Okay, now this I found also interesting. The statement that I will change him or I need to know him is literally a joke. You can never know him fully. Okay. His true character is never revealed during courtship. He conceals himself, and so do you. The man I dated and the man I married were two different people. No, guys, I've heard so many single women who say that we want a chance to get to know him, only to find, and this literally last week, me and a few friends of mine, we were speaking on this point that I want to get to know him before marriage. And when I read those points to them, they were like, okay, there goes that, getting to know him for a number of months or years, then he turns out differently in marriage. Okay, but hopefully your husband won't do that, right? Right. Woman 7. I tried to be the superwoman in Proverbs 31. I never understood what submission meant, and the lack of understanding led me to lose my strong, independent self in the name of submission and wanting to be a good wife. How your husband and his family carry themselves during lobola and wedding preparations will be the same throughout your marriage. It's a hint, guys. It's a tip. Open your eyes. Doing lobola, doing marriage. There's always a rahadi. Rahadi is aunt. There's always a rahadi who's talking extra, looking extra. So keep your eyes on her. She'll do the same in your marriage. Okay, would have loved to know that men are not prepped as much as women are for marriage. I walked in ready to do this, and the man just walked in and reality hit. Most of our clashes stemmed from this one hurdle. Ah, now this okay, now I'm putting my inputs, guys. I can't keep silent. This one particular point is most of the time in our church and in our culture, as soon as a guy is able to pay for a house, pay for a car, he's ready for marriage. It never questions his maturity, never questions his how he's grown in the Lord, his relationship with God. It's always, you are working now. You can pay for that and that. You can be a husband, And then for the woman, we always get this extra counseling and whatnot. I think it's a flaw in our culture somehow that focuses on the fact that we as women need to be 100 and the man can just do as he pleases because he has the finances. You know, I think you get to understand this when my brother speaks on the responsibilities of a man in marriage, that it's not about the fact that you can pay for a car now, that you can get married. So okay, the last woman number 8. As a girlfriend, everything I wanted, I got. And when I got married, I had to plan things like financially. And I had to accept many no's because the situation doesn't permit. As a boyfriend, he did everything for me, even when I didn't ask for anything. Out of the blue, I would just get a notification on my phone that money has been deposited into my account. And all that flew out the window once we got married. Yeah. In marriage, I have to have timing. The money tap doesn't flow like it did before marriage. So, ladies, since we understand those points, it means during courtship, do not turn money away. Everything you want, ask during that time. Because in marriage, the tap is turned off. Okay. No, guys, it's a joke. But yeah, she's complaining that this is what happened to her, okay? I also wish my elders emphasized the importance of sex to my husband. Close your ears, children. Okay. The importance of sex to my husband, as much as they did the cooking and the cleaning. I got there and he wanted more of what was not emphasized and less of what they emphasized on. So, people, yeah. This is the end of it all, but I just want to add something quickly. Thinking about this last point that I just read is a way to a man's heart through his stomach. We especially Zulus, we are taught we are so domesticated, and then yeah, is it worth it? Does it work? Is it you know um a way to a man's heart? Is it through his stomach? You know, just asking. I'm asking for a friend. Okay, I hope you've benefited. Okay, I don't think you've benefited. Okay, I hope that you have kind of opened your mind a bit, broadened your perspective when it comes to marriage and the realities of it. Until next week, when we ponder a bit more on marriage, I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful, and blessed week. You can blossom into the gorgeous daisy God has created you to be.